Walking through hell.
It's the best that I can do. This is all I've got. This is all I say. So please.
What are we shooting at, Mac?
The bottle on top of the sink.
It's gone.
It's gone? Told you.
$20?
$20. You don't have to give me $1. Don't give me $1. I'm gonna give you one. No. Damn it, really?
Because you know what? He's gonna bum a cigarette from you one of these days.
Yeah. You want fire?
No, I have a lighter.
Well, this is so much cooler though.
Okay. Yeah, this is way better.
That's why you like cigarettes and chicken.
Take a chance, man. Step over the edge.
Hey, so this is day 23, but I'm gonna be talking about day 22 and before. Yep. So last night we were out in the campfire meeting some new people that were recruited. Chris and Mike. So Chris is from Florida, but he has done this for like couple of years already. Mike is just, you know, raising money, and somehow he just meets John. You know, they just know each other. After 10 years, he just recognizes him. So it's funny like that, where when you travel more, just, you know, the world just becomes a little smaller. You know, you just meet people for some you've met years before in some ways. So we've been going quite a bit in adventures. I've been in that 4-wheeler. I drove it. Did some pallet surfing and such. Where I'm just holding on. I'm just on the surfboard, just holding on to a rope while he's dragging me through on his 4-wheeler. I've ridden in the back of it, going uphill, you know, just holding on to the racks that are behind it while he's going uphill. Then I got a chance to drive it downhill, and I was going a little too fast. I might have tipped it over. It's just random stuff like that, where we just go to campfires in the middle of like the forest or somewhere, up a trail on our wheels, and it's just random stuff that just happens. Like some days, like with Bob, my buddy Bob, some days I'm just like walking around the roads, you know, just taking a hike on the main road, and then suddenly he just finds me and he's like, hop on, and I just hop on, and we're on like a road trip. You know, we were out cutting wood, and we were out in like a burnt forest area. We were just cutting wood, and then it just felt like there was a moment where it felt like we were just like living in the end of the world, like how it would be, because like we're just like gathering resources on the vehicle. We just find a PVC pipe, we can use it, we recycle it, so we pick it up from the middle of a forest. Okay, we can use this. We cut wood, we find abandoned vehicles. Some of them have tipped over from the hillside down, so they're just old abandoned vehicles. Like it just starts to remind me of like an apocalyptic world where we just try to find anything you can. We're living off generators over here, and there's nothing for at least 100 miles. There's Toke and Eagle are 100 miles apart, so there's so if you want somewhere where it's more civilized, it's 100 miles. But they're nice. We went to Eagle that time. I remember Bob took me to Eagle, and I've been seeing more moose around. One of them has baby calf twins, and the other one has a single child, and they've been running around the town, so I have to be careful with them. And they've been seeing black bears around the airport, so I have to be careful when I'm jogging out. And Luna, the husky, I think you can see it in the video last night. She was whining, but but let's see. Oh yeah, she keeps getting in trouble because like somehow she just gets off her leash and she's just running off like anywhere, and sometimes it gets Paul in trouble. But she's a crazy dog, lunatic. But she's super. Huh, yeah. She's a good husky. She's just a little wild, but yeah, that's much it. We've been playing board games, exploding kittens, chess. I've been reading a book, entry to elsewhere. There's not much else to do here, but we'll see what happens. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll encounter more wildlife like in front of me, but we'll see what happens. I forgot to mention we were out there with Paul. We were out there with Paul. He was showing us the guns he built. Like, he's a very handy man. Like, he builds his own weapons. He was in the Navy. He's 50 years old, but he looks like he's like 35, 38 maybe. But he's a really handy man out here. He built his own guns, and he showed it to us and showed us how to use them basically. So he has some snipers out there, some antique guns that still work, and he was showing us his marksmanship, like just getting a bottle like 100 feet away, and then just showing us how to use it basically. And that was a bit of fun. We were out there with some Germans that came to visit, and as well as a couple from Switzerland. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of tourists from Europe, Switzerland, Germany, French, Canadians, yes, of course. But and but and it's starting to pick up. So we'll see who else is gonna come out here. Yeah.